Spider. And again, the concern is about my parents. Can't have in the house. There goes the bag. And worried about the box and where it's been rather than the toy pieces inside. Cool. MPC 5-inch, 4.5, 5-inch Spacemen, 1960s, with equipment. Whoa. White guy's new to me. White and blue poses are new to me. And it's got equipment. Helmets. I've got guys who need helmets. So 3 range finders, 2 pickaxes, it's like a radio, some sort of metering thing, 2 helmets, hey, a rifle, alright, and one of them has backpack in place, pistols intact. I don't think I have this pose either, or if I do, he's got a broken gun. Nice haul. Thank you very much. That's cool. Kind of twisted. Somebody must have stuck a nail or a pin in there to give him a bigger eye. And all this stuff is now going to go into a bucket of cleanser just to make sure. If there's a way to remove that paint. Let's take another look at these awesome MPC 5-inch figures. Each one does have a mold number on its base, but there's no marking on the bottom. Common misperception is that MPC means Marx Plastic Company. It means multiple product company or multiple plastics company. And Marx had nothing to do with these other than perhaps inspiring them with their own work. This guy's missing his backpack as this one is. I guess this guy is too. Gun barrel is intact, and it's the correct flexible plastic rather than the stiff plastic used by the Recasts. Something interesting with the helmets, there were 2 extra helmets. You see that notch standing up there? I believe that indicates that that was never used. These have barely been played with or anything like that. The blue guy got a pin through the eye or something, but he's got other holes on him. I'm not sure what's up with that. Never will know. This is intriguing. I guess it's a Geiger counter. I'm not sure how. Maybe it goes in one hand and then that would go over to another hand, but these guys all have something in one hand, so it's mismatched from another figure. I think each came with 2 pieces of equipment attached to it. Although I'm not sure how the rangefinders were issued. Use the white rifle. That thing's awesome. And the pickaxes, you can see wood grain detail, at least on the blue one. Yeah, you can see it on the white one too. Impressive stuff. I definitely had a set of them as a kid, no more than 3 or 4. I'm not sure how they came in a bag with a header card on it. Is what I've seen online. And I'm pretty sure I had the box guy. I know I had the box guy, but there were a few of them, and they got abused horribly and eventually tossed with all of my other space toys. at some point. Before I bag them up, I want to figure out who can benefit from having a blue helmet. I think because this has the unused tab in it. This one even here was only, looks like it was only pushed on them once. But figure out which I'm gonna keep that as is. It's unused, collectible, and we'll figure out which of my blue guys or who could use a blue helmet. Alright, so it turns out I've got 9, or examples of 9 of the 10 MPC 5-inch astronaut poses. The gray one there with the oxygen tank is a recast made in Mexico in the 1990s. The rest of them are authentic, vintage MPC figures. And two of them have their helmets. He's going to need one. And then over here there are duplicate poses of the 9, or some of them at least. And then up top are the recasts made in Mexico in the mid-1990s. I think I'm going to keep that all together. He's got some decent equipment bagged up in there with him, but it's almost like he's a piece of new old stock. The rest of them I'm going to use in my art or paint or whatever. Clip them oxygen tanks off and inherit them to a vintage piece. Dress them up like I had when I was a kid. I had probably just one header bag full with whatever they came with, and it was all trashed. By 1976, and once G.I. Joe took over, that was sort of it. By the time the Star Wars toys were surfacing in 1978, I was 11, and that was sort of the last of it for me. Which are my favorites? Very partial to this guy, the white dude here with the pistol. He's Major Tom. And I love this one here. The beat up old someone's toy from 1964. And I'm very, very fond of this guy here too. And because of that, I actually like this one here, even though he's a recast, because he's still got that equipment. And I'm going to have to make a hard choice as to whether or not to split them up. I'm also very fond of Flashlight Guy, because I always had a thing for flashlights when I was a kid. And thankfully I've got 2 examples to compare and pick one from. To make like my own collection, and then there's pieces to be used in art, and some may be traded or sold at some point. Once I've got the collection that I know I had as a kid, everything on top of that is gravy. So 2/3 of this is gravy, you know what I mean? I didn't have all this stuff, that's for sure. And I definitely didn't have a rifle when I was a kid. Boy, I would have remembered that. Lost track of my MPC and Marx figures long before that. Random equipment, including that red helmet in the bag, which has never been used. Fantastic. And one more pose to find. I'll have to figure out what pose it is. I can't think of it off the top of my head. And some of them are very similar looking. And some have helmets as cast, some do not. And I think they're all supposed to have an oxygen pack. He may not. I'm not sure. His helmet doesn't seal. It's like a biker helmet or something, or a football helmet. Him also, although he's got an oxygen tank, as this one came to me, but I wasn't the original owner of any of these, so I don't know how they shipped. Anyway, that's the report. We'll have fun with them.